Hi, I'm Michael Marinara, and today we're going to prepare summer sauce, which is a very quick and easy, much less labor-intensive version of marinara sauce. You won't believe how simple this is, and it's so flavorful and fresh. You're going to love it. All we're going to need is some plum tomatoes, some garlic, some basil, and a jar, and some good olive oil. We put all those delicious ingredients in a jar, tighten it up, sit it on the counter, let it sit overnight, and tomorrow night we're going to have a fantastic sauce. This is the extent of the cooking process. I'm going to drop about 6 or 7 plum tomatoes into a pot of boiling water until they just blanch and the skins begin to split. Like so. We're going to take them out and drain them into a colander. These tomatoes have been in the boiling water for less than 5 minutes. That skin has split right down the center. I'm going to chop a clove of garlic for every 2 tomatoes. Once you've got your fine diced garlic, we're going to set it aside. I'm going to chop about a handful of basil, not quite as fine as garlic would be diced. Once your tomatoes have cooled down enough to handle them, you will see that that skin peels right off. Could not be easier. Then we're going to cut our tomatoes in half and quarter them and slice them down. Once again, we're going to peel the skin right off, quarter your tomato, and cut it crosswise into chunks. Oh, it smells so good. These tomatoes have quite a bit of water in the pan, as you can see. I'm not going to use that water. I'm just going to take the meat of these tomatoes and put them in the bottom of a jar. On top of the tomato, our fresh, finely diced garlic cloves, and on top of the garlic goes the basil. On top of that, we're going to add some salt, a generous pinch or 2, some fresh ground pepper. I like lots of it. And on top of that, the final ingredient, we're just going to moisten all that basil with a generous pour of good olive oil. That's all there is to it. We're going to seal it up. And I'm going to sit this on the counter, and that's where it will live overnight until tomorrow night when we're ready for our pasta meal. Time to go to bed. But just before we do, we're going to turn this over and let it sit on the counter overnight. Nearly 24 hours later, and now comes the fun part. My water is boiling. I'm going to take my jar and I'm going to twist and turn and shake it up. You guys, this smells like heaven on earth. Take a look at that blended basil, tomato, and garlic. Doesn't that look heavenly? All we're going to do is toss that with some fresh cooked pasta. 2 important rules about boiling pasta. Make sure there's plenty of water and plenty of salt. I always salt it just before the boiling point, and that makes it boil even quicker. Wait until you have a rapid boil before you throw in your pasta. Give that a stir about halfway through your cooking time. Do not put oil in your boiling water. It will prevent your sauce from clinging to your pasta. Now, we all know pasta has gotten a bad rap, and I, for one, have certainly eased up on my carb intake. But I grew up on pasta. We ate it twice a week. So while I have experimented with other variations, zucchini and the like, nothing beats a real plate of pasta. Trust the directions on your box of pasta. This said 10 minutes for penne al dente. That's exactly what it is. Get in the habit of saving a cup of your salted boiled water, just in case for any other reason your pasta dish is dry. This will help moisten it. Pasta goes right into that hot pot. There we go. Little at a time. Give it a stir. Little at a time. Give it a stir. Oh my God, this smells so good. That is ready to go. And there is our summer sauce. We're going to grate a heavy dose of Parmigiano Reggiano right on top of that. Didn't take any longer than it takes to boil a pot of pasta. I'm going to add a few homemade meatballs to this dish so we have a little protein with our meal. Summertime, summer sauce. Bon appetit.